This is my review of the Surface Pro 6. Back in 2013 and 2014, I used the Surface Pro 2 and Surface Pro 3 for a couple of months. Regrettably, due to weight, battery life, and thermal throttling, I sold them. Now, I'm ready to try out Microsoft's latest version, the Surface Pro 6. Is the gold standard for tablet hybrids worth your money? Let's find out, starting with the configuration options. As an average Joe who doesn't like to break the bank, I typically review the base model, the absolute cheapest model you can purchase that also has 8GB of RAM. That said though, as I was going to purchase the Surface, Microsoft's website stated that the i7 is meant for gaming, so I upgraded. I also upgraded the RAM to 16GB and the storage to 512GB. These options increase the price from $900 to $1,900. The prices do not include the keyboard and pen. My wife was not happy. The display is a beautiful 12.3-inch PixelSense display with 10-point touch. The processor is the 8th gen quad-core 1.6 GHz Core i5 8250U or the 1.9 GHz i7 8650U. The graphics is the integrated Intel HD 620. The memory is either 8 or 16 GB of DDR3 RAM. FYI, upgrading the RAM to 16 GB forces you to upgrade the processor and storage as well. The storage is anywhere from 128 GB to 1 TB SSD. The ports include a USB 3.0 Type A, a Surface Connect, a mini display port, a microSD card reader, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. The cameras are 5 megapixels of 1080p in the front with Windows Hello and 8 megapixels in the rear. The battery is a 45 watt-hour battery. The colors can be platinum or black. That's right, the new external chassis includes a new matte black finish. As I said before, my configuration was $1,900 for the tablet, $160 for the keyboard, which is absolutely necessary, $100 for the Surface Pen, and $35 for the Surface Mouse. The total was $2,160 before tax. Stick around to find out if I think these upgrades are worth it. To continue on with the ports, the Surface Pro 6 has the same external design as the options of the Surface Pro 3, 4, and 5. That's a long time without a significant refresh. There are no USB-C or Thunderbolt 3 ports on the Surface Pro 6, even though the Surface Go and Surface Book at least have USB-C. There isn't an option right now for external GPUs. Let me know if you'd be interested in using an external GPU with the Surface Pro 6. As far as the sound goes, the Surface's sound quality is typical for a tablet. The stereo speakers sound just fine. Regarding the display, the 2736 by 1824 display has the same resolution as the 2017 model, but it is a little brighter. I should add that the higher resolution displays work a lot better in Windows now. Let's talk about the size and weight. The 11.5 by 7.9 by 0.33 inch dimensions and 2.36 pound weight allows the Surface Pro to easily fit inside a bag with minimal strain on your back. A laptop with 12.3 inch display is great for using on a desk as long as you are only using the touchscreen every now and then. A tablet, though, with a 12.3 inch display is only okay for using on a desk, as your arms will fatigue trying to reach out and touch all parts of the screen over time. Remember though, all the weight is in the screen. The Surface is a nightmare when trying to consume media in bed. The only thing that worked was locking it in landscape and resting it on its side. It is too heavy to hold while I lie on my back. The keyboard does stay attached to the Surface while in my lap to an extent. The keyboard will become uncomfortable after long periods of use though. These are the same issues that I had with the Surface Pro 3. Some things Microsoft fixed though are battery life and thermal throttling. The battery life averaged 8 hours rather than Microsoft's advertised 13.5 hours, but this is way better than the Surface Pro 3's 6 hours, which was advertised as 9. All in all, the battery will last you through an entire day of work and or school. Regarding the processor, the Surface Pro 6 includes Intel's 8th generation Core i5 or Core i7 processors. All previous models were only dual core, but this finally has a quad-core processor. As a result, there is a significant boost in multi-core performance. I want to read Microsoft descriptions for these processors. The Intel Core i5 is perfect for photographs, videos, reports, and presentation. The Intel Core i7 includes Intel's UHD graphics, making your photo, video, and 3D applications run faster. It also gives you the ability to play more PC games. Therefore, I chose the Core i7. My results are as follows. Also, make sure to choose the best performance mode in your taskbar. Regarding the benchmarks, Geekbench 4.2.3 scores were single core score 4429, multi-core score 13833, and OpenCL score was 36842. I also didn't get any thermal throttling. For the Surface Pro 3, 10 Chrome tabs would start up the fans. The Surface Pro 6 fans only turn on while gaming. It does get warm during processor-heavy tasks like Photoshop, and it also gets warm while it charges. Regarding upgradability, nothing is upgradable, so get what you need when you need it. Let's finally talk about the gaming. Microsoft states that the Surface Pro 6's Intel Core i7 option gives you the ability to play more PC games. Let's find out. The integrated Intel UHD graphics 620 runs Tomb Raider just fine. At 720p low settings, the minimum frames per second is 48, the maximum is 102, and the average is 80. This is pretty good for a tablet, in my opinion. As a result, older games run very well. Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 generation games run well on medium settings, and the latest generation of games can play at low settings very well. GeForce Now cloud gaming and Steam in-home streaming are great alternatives if you really want to game. Regarding the type covers, they weren't upgraded this year. Therefore, you can purchase the older type cover on Amazon or the signature type cover on Amazon or Microsoft. These type covers are interchangeable. Both versions are exactly the same mechanically. The only difference is the Alcantara or suede fabric on the signature version. The signature keyboard used to cost an extra $30, but Amazon has both keyboards similarly priced now. Why did I choose the type cover over the signature type cover? My wife likes red and not burgundy. Key travel is 1mm, almost double the key travel in the current MacBook Pros. As a result, typing on this keyboard is very comfortable. That said though, you will find it difficult to type quietly when the cover is slanted. You might bother your classmates or coworkers. The keys are backlit with the ability to adjust the brightness. The keyboard's trackpad is some of the best tracking in Windows. That said though, it is a little small for my tastes. Very fine movements are not picked up as well as Apple's trackpads though. The Surface Pen was not upgraded this year either. With over 4,000 levels of pressure, it is more sensitive than the previous pen. That is why I got the 2017 Burgundy pen. My wife does like it, as she says it is fun to draw and doodle with. As far as using the pen for note-taking though, she and I both don't recommend it. For us, we are fast typers. I also found out that I am faster at using the swipe gestures on the keyboard than I am to write with the stylus. Both of our notes were barely legible as well. Should you upgrade from the 2017 Surface Pro? The Surface Pro 2017 and the Surface Pro 6 2018 are physically identical from a chassis standpoint. The major changes are internal. The new 8th generation quad-core processors give a substantial 50% improvement in multi-core performance over last year's dual-core processors. The UHD 620 offers approximately 20% improvement over last year's Intel Iris Plus Graphics 640. The final difference? It comes in black. In conclusion, should you get the Surface Pro 6? If you like large 2-in-1s, then this is the gold standard. Its battery life, performance, keyboard, and trackpad are all great, but its port selection, lappability, and upgradability are things you should consider before purchase. Also, only upgrade the configuration options if you absolutely need the upgraded RAM, storage, and i7 processor. For me, these upgrades are not worth the extra $1,000, regardless of how much better the performance is while gaming. Click like if you like this video, please subscribe if you want to see more, and check out dansbesttech.com for a full written review.